Hey guys, welcome back to the ExamRevision YouTube channel. My name is Ellen and today I'm going to be talking about the things I regret doing during my Leaving Cert. So I'm currently a third year student in college, so I did the Leaving Cert 3 years ago now. It did not feel that long ago, but yep, it was 3 years ago. And I made a lot of mistakes during the Leaving Cert, just like many other students. And looking back, there are so many things I would do differently and change, but that's okay. I still did great and I was happy with my results, but I'm just here to hopefully educate you on some things that I did that I would not recommend doing and just prevent you from making the same mistakes that I did. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is not having a balanced study schedule. So for me, my favourite subjects were maths, and then I did all of the sciences. So maths, biology, chemistry and physics were my favourite subjects. I loved doing them, I loved studying them, everything about them. I obviously wanted to pursue my career in them. I just loved them. And so I really neglected other subjects. I completely focused on maths, biology, chemistry and physics. I was so zoned in on them, I literally could recite everything off. And this was months before the exam. I knew everything. Like even up to like January in 6th year, I was probably prepared to sit the exam right there, right now, and probably have gotten a H1 in the January. In about January of 6th year, I was getting H1s in all of those subjects in every exam. Like I was extremely prepared for them. But I still continued to focus on them way too much, even though I was already way up to that H1 standard. I just loved studying them and I thought they were so interesting. But that meant that a lot of my other subjects got the brunt of it. So my other subjects obviously were English and French, which was my language. Now Irish I did ordinary level because I wasn't counting it towards my points, so that's not in context. Obviously I did not put any effort into Irish. I did not like Irish. Don't recommend. You should probably study all 7 subjects and hope for the best in all of them, but I just threw Irish down the drain. But even English and French, I obviously were counting those points and I did not focus on them whatsoever. I hated studying them. I just hated doing them. I thought they were so boring. I literally did not care about them in the slightest. I did not want to know French. I did not care about being good at French. I just didn't care at all. So please don't make the same mistake as I did. I left them so last minute. I neglected them so much, which is not good. You need to be balanced in all your subjects. Do not just be studying the subjects you like. It's just a recipe for disaster, I swear. Now, lucky for me, I had predicted grades and the actual exam for all of my subjects because I was the year 2021. So lucky for me, I didn't even have to sit the English paper because I was like, in the April, I was like, oh, I really actually don't know anything in English. So I was able to miss out on that. And my French exam, God, I did awful in my French exam, but my teacher predicted me a nice grade. So again, I was lucky. But you don't have that anymore. There's no such thing as predicted grades anymore. So please don't do what I did. If I actually had to like count the points from the exams that I sat in English and French, I probably wouldn't be in the course I am today. So do not neglect any subjects. I know you hate them, but it's for such a short amount of time and you will never have to do them again in your life. And in order to get the course you want to get, you've got to try your best in everything. And I will tell you right now, I did not try my best in English and French. So just thanks for my teacher for predicting me a nice grade, but if I was any other year, I would have been screwed. So don't do that. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is procrastination. Now, I didn't really struggle with this maybe like past the January in 6th year. Once I got to January, I kind of like locked in and all I did was study. But definitely through 5th year and the beginning of 6th year, I definitely procrastinated a lot and didn't do stuff when I should have been doing stuff. I'm not saying that you need to be studying like 6 hours a day after school. You're not. But in order to be like doing your little bit of study 2-3 hours a day, you do need to be doing it consistently. And through 5th year, I wouldn't say I was the most consistent with studying. I definitely procrastinated a lot because I was like, oh, my Leaving Cert's not this year, so it's fine. But I definitely would recommend doing your little bit of study every single day. It will help you so much more in the long run. Instead of having to cram anything, no one likes to cram. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is mock papers. Now, I know everyone knows mock papers are scary. They are extremely scary. But when doing past papers, you really need to be doing mock papers as well. I know they're terrifying and the questions are so much harder than the real exam, but they are so important because you never know if that hard question in a random mock paper 10 years ago might show up on your paper. So don't ignore them just because they're scary. Don't expect yourself to know everything on a mock paper because you pretty much will never know everything on a mock paper. There's always mock paper questions coming up on newer exam papers, so please do your mock papers. Just try your best because they're so important. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is comparing yourself to others. Now, I talked about this in my last video when I was talking about Christmas exam study timetables, but it's so important to not compare your grade or the amount of time you're studying to your friends. Everyone needs to study different amounts in order to get the grades they do. I know everyone always has that one friend who just gets H1s and everything, and that's amazing and great, but that's not realistic for most people. So don't be looking at your friend like, oh my god, they got a H1 in English, I need to get a H1 in English. I was never good at English, I'm not gonna get a H1 in English, and you just have to kind of accept that. We all have different strengths, we all have different weaknesses. Some people are great at everything in school, and that's great. But for 90% of us, we always usually have a weakness in school. Whether it be one subject, whether it be all the subjects, some people just don't like school, and that's so fine. Some people are gonna be going for medicine, some people are going to be going for apprenticeships. Don't be comparing yourself to what other people, how long they're studying and what grades they're getting. It's just a waste of time when you could actually be studying. The last thing I'm gonna be talking about, kind of random, but not enjoying the process. Obviously, the year of your Leaving Cert, you're so caught up with exams and college and CAO and everything, but you kind of do forget that it's actually your last year in school and your last year probably in your hometown with your group of friends, so enjoy it. I loved my 6th year. Now I missed out on a lot of it because of COVID, but really do soak up and remember that this is your last year in school. You don't want to look back on it and think, oh god, I spent all of my time studying and I didn't do anything else and I didn't live in the moment. Enjoy your time, do your bit of study, everything will be fine, but you will never be back in 6th year again. Well, you could repeat, but you probably won't be back in 6th year again. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you don't make the same mistakes that I did. And I will talk to you all very soon. Bye!
Also guys, be sure to check out the ExamRevision courses and bundles. I actually have a 20% off code for you. I'll put it on the screen now. They cover majority of the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert subjects. They have H1 standard notes, video lessons, presentations, quizzes, exam questions, everything you will need to succeed in the Leaving Cert and Junior Cert.